are seeing when it comes to sustainability reporting is that more and more different types of stakeholders are starting to ask for this type of data. And then you could, for instance, think about investors. They are more and more frequently starting to ask companies for information about their sustainability performance before they decide where they actually invest. And we are also seeing a trend among regulators and governments actually also, that they are also starting to request this. For instance, stock exchanges frequently starting to request that the listed companies provide non-financial information as well as financial information. Yeah. When it comes to the content itself, there is not really a lot of difference, hardly any difference between the previous version, the G4, but the main difference is the structure. So now, rather than presenting everything you could say in one bundle as a guideline, we have actually separated each individual standard so it's like a modular structure, and this will make it much easier for us to update individual standards and even add new standards as new topics become relevant in the field of sustainability, and also makes it easier for the reporters to use them and refer to them. I mean, like I said, content-wise, there wasn't a lot of change, but it's easier to use, and also reporters now can choose not to use the complete set or to be in accordance, but actually just use individual standards that are most relevant to them, and still have the option of calling the report a GRI reference report then. Yeah. We think, so you could say that GRI has now been operational for 20 years. It's our 20th anniversary this year. And I think we've been very successful in making sustainability reporting a trend among large companies. But the fact of the matter is that the global economy consists of around 90% of SMEs. And SMEs, they are not really reporting, and they are not really conducting their business in really a responsible way. So we think that if we want to move towards sustainability, and especially now with the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN, on the agenda of all nations, and we want to achieve that by 2030, we really must get the SMEs on board. And what we have to do is that we have to make sure that the SMEs understand that this is an important practice for them, not just to please others. It's not just a compliance exercise, but they have to do it because it's important for them as a business, for them to survive also as a business. Yeah. So we, at GRI, we have a database where we collect all the reports that we can get our hands on. And the current situation is that out of the reports in the database, only 10% is from SMEs. Whereas, like I said, they're about 90% of the global economy is SMEs. So we really need to turn that around. Yeah. Well, obviously that would be the ultimate, target for us to do that. But and we hope that one day that will be the case, of course. But that's why it was important for us to have a program like the one that we are running now here in Indonesia and 5 other developing countries. It's being sponsored by Switzerland. And because we really want to actually reach quite a lot of SMEs here in Indonesia, and hopefully there will be that ripple effect that when others see that this is really beneficial for their peers, that they will start reporting as well. Well, we were actually I was giving a training just now to the trainers who are going to help us roll out the program here in Indonesia, and we were looking at our database, and we could see that there are 15 reports from SMEs from last year. And of course that is a very low number when you think about the enormous amount of SMEs in Indonesia. However, I think we should take it as an encouragement that they are at least there, and they should be an example to others, because I know that Indonesia is a very SME-rich country, and we really want to, with the help of everyone, make this a practice for the SMEs as well. Absolutely. I mean, for instance, the government has committed on behalf of Indonesia to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals, just like any other government, you know, who is a member of the UN. And the government relies on business to achieve their contribution to the goals. And one of the ways of achieving that, and for them also to measure the progress being made in Indonesia, like in any other country, is if companies start to report on what they are doing when it comes to sustainability. Get them to acknowledge the impacts that they are causing, and also acknowledge or find ways of how they want to deal with those and improve and become more sustainable. I think that's the only way, so definitely a benefit for the government. Well, we are so happy because they sort of, or your company got into sustainability reporting through one of our programs, through an SME program that we ran here in Indonesia in 2014. And of course, I'm delighted to see that whenever I come, I run into Salman, you know, because he and you all have really taken this on board. And this is, for us, it's a success story. And we are, you know, we see you as a role model for other SMEs, because you have really, like I said, taken this on board, and for you there is no way back. And that's what we hope to achieve with all the other participants in our new program as well. Absolutely. I think they have to, like I said, don't see this as something that you're doing to please somebody else. Do see this as something that is basically crucial for you as a company and can basically be a make or break for you as an organization moving forward. Because everywhere around us, in the whole world, there is sustainability is on the agenda everywhere. And for instance, when you think about the global value chain, the large companies, they are under a lot of pressure now to be able to demonstrate that their supply chain is also sustainability aware. And if you as a small supplier can demonstrate to your buyer that you are, and that you're doing this because it makes sense to you, then I think you already make yourself a very attractive partner for that buyer. So there is definitely that benefit and a business case in it for the SMEs as well. Well, we have we have one person here who we recently recruited at the beginning of this year, and this is the first time that we have a local presentation in Indonesia, here in Jakarta. And this is particularly to run the program that we are running, the CSRCB program. And so this person, Bob, my colleague here, he is the liaison between our Amsterdam office, the headquarters, and the program participants here in Indonesia. Because what we want to do here is to build a lasting relationship. We want to basically introduce the program into the Indonesian, you can say, environment, because although this program is running for a period of 4 years until 2020, our hope is that this will just be embraced by our partners and that they will continue to run the program beyond that time. And I think only by doing that, we can look at a systemic change within Indonesia and get, like you were saying earlier, get all the SMEs to report. Yeah.